You're listening to the Drummer Daily Podcast, the only daily podcast dedicated just to drummers. Go to my website at danielhadaway.com. Hey there, welcome back. Now, as promised yesterday, I said that today was going to be the kicker, the big kahuna, the whole enchilada. Well, it's not really the whole enchilada because there's 5 pieces to this whole playing with a click track thing. I guess I better back up. If this is your first episode of tuning into this podcast, you're probably really confused at this point. So let me back up. Right now we're in the middle of a kind of a 5-part podcast series. It's all about getting better at playing with a click track, and specifically kind of the 5 steps that I followed to get better at playing with a click track super fast, like in 2 weeks. I was able to, I got this amazing audition opportunity for a huge artist, and I was able to, but I never played with a click track before, but I needed to for this audition. I guess saying never played with a click track before is not true. I played with the click track a little bit, but I wasn't very good at it, and I needed to get awesome at it, but I only had 2 weeks till the audition. So I kind of put together a plan for myself and followed it, and it worked, and I got the gig, and my life changed, and it was amazing. I kind of had 5 steps that I followed, and this right now we're in the middle. We're in day number 3 of covering the 5 steps. And so if this is your first episode, maybe jump back a couple of episodes to listen to these in order. Although they don't really have to be put in any order. They're just 5 kind of pieces of the same pie. You can listen to any of these or drop in any of these as you want. I just wanted to make sure that you understood where we're at. All right, so number 3. Previously we talked about getting an outside source for rhythm, someone or somewhere else to tell us what to play during our exercises. Number 2 was we broke out practice sessions into small chunks. So 4, 5, 6 minutes, somewhere in there, that we divided our practice up into so that we didn't get bored or exhausted. And we also got the most improvement that we could out of our practice. All right. So number 3 was this. I knew that if I just blasted the click track and played along with it, that I would be able to stick along with it. Like it's just like listening to a song that's being played loud, or playing along with a drummer on a recording. I could kind of stick with that just fine. But the problem was I knew that when this gig came or this audition came, I would be the drummer creating the sound, not someone else giving me rhythm to play along with. Really, it was just a click, or whatever, maybe some key part backing tracks, things like that. So anyway, I knew that I needed to quickly develop like my innate sense of time, like my actual, how consistent, how good I was at holding a tempo steady, even without a click track. I needed to get better at that, and subdividing. If the click track was going dut 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 dut, there's all those eighth notes that fill in between those clicks that I needed to have a better ability at filling in and consistently following and playing. And so I was like, how can I see how well I'm doing at subdividing? Or once I get used to subdividing and filling in the in-betweens of playing with a click track, can I take it one step further and maybe even the clicks? And what if the click track were to stop, or the line were to go bad, or my in-ear monitors were to go out? How could I stay with the click track even when I can't hear it? And so I happen to have it was a Roland, I think. It was a little drum machine. I still have it somewhere. I should take that out and post a picture of it or something. I'll have to find it. It was a Roland little drum machine, and it was the coolest thing in the world. But it was at the time, I think there's like a Tama Dr. Beat or something that a lot of people had as a metronome. I didn't have that. I had a drum machine because it was a lot more fun to play with. Anyway, but the cool thing about the drum machine was I was able to, through a sequencer, I was able to program out a complex click track. So there would be like, maybe 12 bars, 16 bars, 32, 64, somewhere, a long stretch of time where the click track was consistent. And then at some point through the pattern, all of a sudden the click track would
go from being eighth notes to quarter notes. So it would space out the notes that I was getting in the click track more. Or then I would have it drop out certain notes, like, or excuse me, it wouldn't even play the click track. It might give me, beats 1 and then 3 and 4, but skip beat 2, or it might go completely out for an entire measure. So 4 beats, no click track, but then in time it would come right back in. And then I started doing things where I couldn't automate the volume going down, but I could change the quote, velocity. So how loud the note was being played in the sequencer. So I was able to do quieter notes and kind of slowly make it go quieter and quieter. And then I would do, towards the end of my exercise that I'd programmed out, I would make it where I would have to go, 4 or 5 seconds without a click sometimes, then it would come back in. And 4 or 5 seconds may not sound like a lot, but I guarantee you, if you do this right now, sit down at the drums and hit your stopwatch or something and start a timer and start playing your drums right away and play for 5 seconds, that is a long time to go without a click track or feel like it's missing, and to see if you can stick with it. Anyway, all that to say, I programmed this complex click track and almost kind of made a game out of it. Like, all right, this click track's gonna drop out for, 4 bars or whatever it is. Can I stick with it? When it comes back in, how close can I get? And if I couldn't get it, I could actually restart that little part again, and that little segment of the exercise, and try it again. And the cool thing by using a sequencer like that was that I could change the tempo of the whole pattern pretty easily and give myself some different tempos to work out with different exercises. So by combining that with these outside patterns that I was playing, so some other external, someone dictating to me what I had to play, so I wasn't picking easy things. By combining that with doing these small chunks, so I basically programmed out like a 6-minute click track. Of course, it would get longer or shorter depending on the tempo that I was playing at. But by programming out this click track that would be a few minutes long, and then playing along with that click track, these crazy patterns, it started to be this really cool, not complicated, but just full-fledged, really rich experience of playing with a click track that really drove my improvement. I could hear myself getting better while I was playing, and I've actually helped other drummers do the same thing. And some of the people who've done this, they would say the same thing. They've told me, when I started doing this process, almost immediately while I was doing some of these exercises, I could actually hear my time. I could feel myself correcting, and my playing getting better, like right in front of my eyes. It was a gradual thing, of course, as all practice is, but it was noticeable. You could actually feel yourself getting better during it. And so that's another thing. Now, I know that you may not have a drum machine or a way of doing this. In a couple of days, I'm going to talk to you about a way that you can get into this and have these complex click tracks and have the outside patterns and everything. But I want to make sure that, here's the thing. If you want to do this yourself and you're really motivated, you can totally do this yourself. And I want to make sure that I'm clear about that. That you don't have to reinvent the wheel or go crazy. I'm giving you the steps right here that you can follow, and you can do exactly what I did. I'm not especially over the top smart, or really even, I don't know if I'm gifted as a drummer more than other people. I think that I just never stopped. I never gave up. And so if you're motivated enough and you're determined enough, you can do this too. And so I want to encourage you to do that. So programming a complex click, think about the tools you have in front of you. There might be some things that you have sitting around that will allow you to do this. And if not, like I said, I have some tools I'm going to provide you with when this podcast series is over, that'll help you out as well. But until then, I hope this has helped you out. I hope this is inspiring to you. Keep playing, keep drumming, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.